Right, we are heading towards live streaming.
It's got 24 on Metascore.
Nice.
Metacritic.
I think that's normally a sign that it's good.
Yeah, I think so.
The average person.
Adding that. They didn't get it. It's too good for them.
Exactly.
Appreciate the majesty of Steel Dawn.
Mm.
Yeah. 5.2 on IMDb.
Give me a moment. Carry on talking, but be aware that the public can be watching us now. And carry on talking about stuff. I'll just send out some alerts to our public that want to know us.
I could show you what I was looking at right now. The pictures of Steel Dawn. It's amazing.
Yeah, so this game, Twilight 2000, which we're not playing this evening, just in case anybody's listening, is going to be set in Poland, not Alaska or wherever it was that Red Dawn was set. And it will feature sort of a scattered American army trying to get home out of Poland. It's a bit of a hex crawly game, I think. So anyway, I think there are a certain number of people, including one of my old school friends, who is very, very excited by it.
All they need to do now is make an additional traveller, and then your life will be complete, surely.
Well, so there's a connection between Twilight 2000 and Traveller.
Well, that's what made me think that.
Yes. But not my life, but as I say, one of my old school friends who's a Traveller nut would be very excited by the idea of a year zero system Traveller. I think, although he might argue Traveller's a pretty perfect system anyway, why change it? But they did change it for this game. Let me just start telling everybody else. Facebook. It's a hard old job, but we're waiting for your man, Craig. So I think we can afford
Sandbox survival.
Jesus.
It's basically the perfect game for this era, seeing as that's basically all the only type of computer games coming out at the moment.
Yeah. It's funny, actually, when they teased just the picture, lots of people were going, oh, I wonder whether it's this computer game or that computer game. Or, but here's Craig. But no, it's none of those computer games. It's this classic old RPG. So, Craig, welcome.
Oh.
How are you?
Yes, I'm doing all right. Cool little picture we've got here.
Yes, this is all of you, this crowd. Maybe we should start by everybody introducing themselves and their characters. And since the cursor is pointing at Paul, and Craig, you are playing Paul, do you want to say a little bit about Paul?
Yes, so I am Paul Marchand, the cat burglar. I'm the French Robin Hood, is what people used to say. And my professional career was started in the French Marquis during the war. My abilities are lockpicker and sixth sense, and apparently I've got a bad reputation.
We are, I should say, set in about the 60s as well. So, that's how come you were alive during the war. And since Paul is standing next to Harry, Tom, do you want to say a little bit about Harry?
Sir Harold Fitzroy, KCB, DSO, MC, TD, and a whole bunch of other abbreviations at your service. You can call me Harry, I'm not that formal. I served in North Africa and Italy in the war, and I got my scars from it. Could never settle down afterwards. I've been climbing mountains, sailing yachts, riding. I was a lecturer's map reader for a while until I got bored, Lovely girl, very spirited. It's true that I know quite a lot of the old boys and ladies, both from my service, from my education. They say that I'm a bit too fond of whiskey, but that's not true. I also like beer, gin, schnapps, vodka, and akvavit. And I would even accept a glass or three of the red. In the worst case, I could even resort to that horrible stuff they make on the other side of the pond.
Excellent. And since you mentioned Electra, you were Electra's co-driver or navigator or whatever. Electra, that's you, Tom, other Tom.
Yep. Electra, professional rally driver for the Earth Oil team. One of the best in the field, good enough to compete with world-class drivers. With a car like the Lancia, I'm among the best of the best. Being one of the very few girls in the sport makes me a lot more popular in the media. Nobody knows the top drivers of the other teams by name, and nobody can point them out in the crowd, but everybody knows who Electra Ambrosia is.
Excellent. And then going to the other end of this lineup, over here we got Eloise. Sophia, do you want to explain a little bit about who Eloise is?
Yes. Bonsoir. Je m'appelle Loïs Giraud. Because it's a French game, I'm trying to make it a bit. But don't ask me for much French because it's quite limited. Yes, Eloise is a 16-year-old student. I don't have a job. I just started in St. Catherine's School for young ladies. It's a Catholic boarding school. And I have to wear a school uniform. I don't like it. But my mom put me there, so she will have more time to date a stupid man without having me as a burden, which I'm not. Of course I'm not. But that disappeared some years ago, and since then I'm fiddling with all my electronic devices and the science. That was his legacy to me. So I'm kind of a techie nerd. All these things that people normally call me, but it's not.
Excellent. And between you and Harry is Frida. So, Jace, you're playing Frida today.
Me,
Tell us a little
yeah.
bit about Frida.
I'm a captain in the Swedish Air Force. I used to fly the J-35 Draken Interceptor. I've got 2 guns, but one of them's secret. I'm also a spy.
Not anymore.
Yeah, that's about it.
That's about it. Okay. So we are playing Troubleshooters, which is a new game. It's kickstarting tomorrow. If any of you or if any of our listeners are interested in getting on board that Kickstarter, it comes from the Swedish company Helmgast, but it's based very much in the Franco-Belgian bande dessinée world of adventurous comic albums from the 60s. And in the English-speaking world, probably the most famous of them is Tintin, of course, but there are lots of others. So I thought it might be worth just talking a little bit about dice mechanics before we start. It's a D100 game, but with a little sort of quirk to make it a bit less linear. So basically, you've got a skill. In any normal circumstances, you roll under your skill rating to succeed in doing the job you want to do. Could anybody just tell me about 1 or 2 of their skills and the ratings they've got in them?
What have we got? Vehicles, 75%.
And you are, of course, the rally driver. So you're pretty good at running those vehicles. Now, but you still say pretty good. 75% isn't like 98%, is it? There's still a 25% chance that if you're doing any maneuver, you're going to crash. And that's one of the things that people don't like about percentile systems. But there is a slight modifier, and modifiers can be positive or negative, and they're counted in pips. And what they do is they don't just add to your percentage chance. You don't get like 5% extra chance of doing something if you've got a modifier. If you've got a 5 pip modifier, then what that allows is if the ones dice of your percentile roll is less than 5, and it's a positive modifier, of course, then you automatically succeed. So you could get 95, and if the modifier was 5, that would still succeed. If the modifier is 6 and you don't succeed on that, then we look at what your percentage dice is to measure it against your skill to see whether you succeed on that. You can get negative modifiers as well. You may even get positive and negative ones. You count them up pip for pip and weigh them against each other. So although it might be a very easy task because it's simply driving to the shop, say, so give you a +5 modifier on that, but it's raining, so give you a -1 modifier on that. That means you've got 4 pips in total positive modifier. So you roll your percentile dice, and I'll just roll a pair here, and I got 0, 7. So on the 7s, that isn't an automatic success, but actually you got a very low score. Rolling low is generally better. So 7, you easily drove to the shops as an example. So that's the basic dice mechanic. There are some other things we will possibly talk through as we go through the game. I'm just trying to think whether there's anything I should explain beforehand. There are 3 sorts of scenes that we're going to be playing. Everything's sort of divided into scenes. There are what are called transition scenes, I think. Let me just check. Where are the scenes? I should say that this is the first time any of us have played this game, so anybody listening in is seeing us do this from the start. Yeah, transitional scenes are scenes where you might be traveling somewhere, you might be planning what you're going to do next. Detailed scenes are you're doing a raid on a stormy castle or something. That's when a map might come out and you might start saying, I'm going here, there, or everywhere. Action scenes could well be a fight, but there might be some other form of action. And there's lots of dice rolling in an action scene, basically. What else can I say? Opposed checks, if you're rolling to hit somebody and they're rolling a defensive thing, you roll your attacking roll, they roll their defensive roll, and if you're higher than them, if you both fail, nothing happens. If you both hit and you're higher than them, then you get the you get the hit. Karma, so you can acquire karma, and you acquire karma. The simplest way is if you ever roll double, 33, 22 on your dice, you get a karma point, and it's also good or bad karma. So you get a story point, I should say. If you get a double and succeed, then it's a very good success, kind of like a critical. If you get a double and you don't succeed, then it's a very bad, something else happens that's bad for you in the story. But you do acquire a story point, and you can spend the story points, or one of the ways you can spend story points sometimes is when you roll a dice and you failed, like I've just rolled 98, which would probably be a fail for most of your skill rolls. You can spend a story point and turn that into 89, which might be no good. Let's say 91 and you turn it into 19 is a better example. Any other questions?
So should we be tracking story points somewhere? Is it like a sort of thing we should be writing down, or
yeah,
piles of
as
tokens
they
or something?
appear, you should track them. I'll leave it up to you to bookkeep them.
But are we expecting lots of these things, or are they kind of like?
Well, no. So how often do you roll a double in a percentile game?
Yeah.
We'll,
But you
we'll
get,
see.
but it also says you can gain them for
In other ways, yes.
in other ways.
So, for example, a couple of you, I have given a bit of an agenda to. You can share as much or as little of that. But that specific handout that I've given to a couple of you is if you work hard at getting people involved in the adventure and your agenda, then I will give you story points for that. And there's other ways of doing it. I'm not sure how many story points I'm going to hand out because this is the first time I've played. But we shall see. We shall see how it goes. Any other questions? Right. I am going to kick off. No, actually, tell you what, let's just go. You can have up to 12 story points. That's the maximum, so you don't get any more. You start each session with 4 in your story point pool.
Is this vitality our health? Or
And vitality is your health, yes.
Yeah.
So do you want to talk a little bit about that?
well, I've just got 6.
Yes. So if you take one of the forms of damage in which you can take, and that's what we use 6-sided dice for. And if you take more than, sorry, let me remember this. If you, you can soak rolls. Well, no, let's go back one step further. When people roll damage, 6s explode. So they count 6 and they roll again. So you can get quite exponential damage if you roll really luckily. And for every sort of unit of 4 points that you get on damage, you lose 1 point of vitality. So you know each 6 dice is I'm not describing this very well. What I mean is when people do damage on you, they roll a number of dice. 4 to 6 gets you a point of vitality loss, and if they roll a 6, they get to roll it again. Is the simpler way of saying that. If your vitality is loss is 0 or less, nothing happens. If it's at least 1, you reduce your vitality score by that amount. And if your vitality score reaches 0, you're out cold. And you can choose to take a wounded condition or a mortal peril condition to avoid that vitality loss. But obviously that's then got consequences, which we will encounter when that happens. This isn't a game where dying is really easy because it's a comic. But there are 3 ways you can die. So if you're doing something stupid and I just don't like the thing you're doing, and you die in that, then I'll say you die rather than going out cold. If you take the mortal peril condition and then run out of vitality, then you die. And there may be a situation where I give you a sort of, you can die doing this heroic thing, and then you can decide whether you want to do a heroic thing and risk death there. But otherwise, you're out cold and you run out of vitality, and then you wake up in the next scene and we carry on. There's a healing thing which I'll tell you about later on. Any other questions?
How do you activate? Because I've seen the character sheet abilities, complications. How do you activate these ones?
So complications, I think you generally you can activate them, particularly in transition scenes, so you can deal with them. And Oh, I can't quite remember. Give me a moment. Let me just look it up. Um, so they've obviously got to have an impact on the story. So, you know, if you say, right, we're all staying the night at a hotel, I'm going to get outrageously drunk because that's your weakness. Well, that doesn't impact necessarily on the story unless I'm planning some sort of raid there. So I wouldn't necessarily give you a story point for that. But if you do something that makes it difficult in a scene, and I'll give you around 3 story points for that. If you do something that actually takes you out of the scene, then I give you 6 story points for that. If you do something, you know, that we all find amusing around the table, around the thing, you get a point for that. So yeah, that's how you. That's kind of how you can activate. You know, just role play the condition, and you know, if it impacts on the story, then you get more story points. For 1 story point, you can flip your task check, as I said before. For 2 story points with certain skills, you can turn failure into success. For 4 story points, you can activate one of the special effects in your abilities that you've got on your character sheets. Okay. Right, I'm going to kick off this with remember that there's a couple of you that have been sent a little agenda, which you can reveal as much of or as little of as you want, but bear in mind that if you do well with these, I will give you story points for and kind of binding the team together and getting everybody to go and do these things. So we're in the Mediterranean. This is set in Greece. I can, in fact, show you where Greece is. Give me a moment. I will share the screen. Come on, screen share. Here we are, Greece, the home of civilization. This is the setting. We can come back to this map at any point that you want to come back, but you are in Greece, and I can't remember what happens next. Give me a moment. Oh God.
Quick question. Do the characters know each other before the adventure?
Yes, I think these people are your friends, you know, so some of that is explicit in your descriptions. So Harry knows Electra, for example. But I think you have all had contact with each other, positive or negative. I'll leave up to you to play. But you, if you've got one of these agendas, you may want to build a team that's going to help you achieve your agenda. And these are the people around there. So you're arriving in Athens, essentially. And or you can say you're already in Greece if you want. Some of you might choose to fly into Greece on some special mission or something, and then you will be landing at Ellinikon International Airport, which is on the coast, some 7 kilometers from the city. So who wants to be in Greece already, or who feels it fits their story? I'm looking at you, Harry.
Me? In Greece? Well, probably. You know, I like to look at the local archaeology sometimes, see what's going on and what was. You never know what's going to turn up, especially in an old place like Greece. All sorts of fascinating things knocking about.
Okay, who else is in Greece, do we think?
I think I might be.
You're already in Greece, are you, Frida?
I think so.
Why are you in Greece, Rita?
Am I allowed to tell people I'm a spy?
Absolutely. Well, it's entirely your choice.
Right.
But yes, if you want to, these people are people you kind of trust.
Right.
So
Okay.
you may have worked with them, even nefarious people like Paul in the past. He can be useful for spies like you. Sophia, Eloise might have a little secret that involves her in your world as well. So yeah, feel free. I mean,
Okay. Right.
Yeah.
Yes, I was thinking about that, looking at my skills.
So what was that, Sophia?
I was saying they're looking at my skills and abilities, because being with that spy would be a good idea.
Yeah. You might have to go to boarding school, but you're quite an adventurous student who plays
Yes.
truant quite a lot.
Yes, yes. We do trips in the middle of the academic course, so why not?
So
Mm.
are you flying in? Are you coming in specifically to help Frida with Frida's mission? Because otherwise you'd be at Paris, wouldn't you? Or is this the holidays?
Who do you speak with me?
I'm speaking with you, Eloise. Eloise.
It's okay. Yes, I will go with taking the chances. Bank holiday also is a half term or a holiday of some sort. I can go with her and I can kill 2 birds in one go. So I can still leave my mom with her partners, and I give her more time and I go to do my thing, which is explore and enjoy and help.
Okay.
friends.
Say it's half term then.
Yeah, yes.
Well, I'm also going to need a driver.
I cannot help you with that. I'm 16 and I get sleepy quite often, so it will be a bit of a danger if I have to drive.
Right.
But are we saying there's a driver already in Greece, Electra?
I am Greek, so it's quite feasible that I would be in Greece at the moment. Possibly, I don't know if the F1 or what do they call it, the ERF oil rally is currently on a break. Perhaps I'm visiting family or catching up with my old chum Harry in their homeland. So
ERF was, I can't remember what it stands for, but it's like BP. It used to be a big French oil company.
okay. So yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm probably in Greece at the moment. And possibly, yeah, gonna go and visit Harry if we're old chums.
But are you picking up Frida and Eloise from the airport? Have they
Could
called
do.
ahead and asked for a lift?
Shall we
Should
say
do.
they? Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
Okay. And that leaves you, Paul. Where are you?
All right. I'm on that boat behind you. I am entering Greece, avoiding the airport.
Avoiding the airport.
Right.
Well, the airport is on the coast, so you might be quite close to the airport as well. But
Yeah, the boat seems more my thing.
Okay. So the airport is really busy. Those of you flying in, that's Eloise and Frida. You're flying in. Oh no, sorry, Frida, are you flying in, or are you here to collect Eloise?
Sorry,
Yes.
was that directed at me?
Yeah.
I was
Frida.
just briefly attacked by a cat.
Because
Um,
I think I was assuming you were flying in, but I think you said that you were already in Greece.
I think I hitched a ride with someone on some sort of a military plane.
Right. So you're at the airport too.
Yes.
Okay. Well, the airport is really busy. I guess Sophia, Eloise, and Frida can find each other, but they so far your luggage has not appeared on your luggage carousel. Frida, if you came in a military aircraft of some description, you probably got your luggage, but Eloise doesn't have hers.
Right.
Sorry, what about my luggage, you said?
Sorry?
What did you say about my luggage?
Your luggage, yeah.
Yes, what?
Missing at the
Yeah.
airport somewhere.
I'll start to get a bit.
So who is so Electra's waiting on the other side of departures. Harry, are you with Electra, an old chum?
So we're waiting for these people to pick them up. I'm probably in the airport bar in that case.
Okay. Well, the airport bar has got quite a good view of the tarmac. So just look out the window for me and make an alertness check.
Alertness. 28.
Against
Which is
your skill
well
of...
under my alertness of 45.
Excellent. Well, an interesting thing catches your eye, which is that there's 2 luggage carts on the tarmac that haven't been taken in to the arrivals thing. But you can't tell Eloise this because she hasn't seen it. Unless, Eloise, you care to look out of the window and make an alertness check.
Shouldn't be difficult to find a little red-haired trouble around, yawning all the time.
Sorry?
It shouldn't be difficult to find a little red-haired trouble just stretching the arms and yawning all the time.
You're yawning.
Yes. Bored, just waiting for my luggage.
Right, yeah, so you're not looking out the window, you mean?
No. I was
Okay.
looking to the
So you want to try and convince somebody on the airport to look for your luggage for you?
yes.
Okay. Well, I'll tell you what, have you got a skill called red tape?
Skill. I mean, it's red tape. No,
You don't have that skill.
no, I have languages, but I have other skills 15%, but I didn't have which skills. I don't know how useful would be that one.
Give me a moment. I'll just quickly have a look at your character sheet.
Ledra. Some poor sap's gonna be waiting all day for their luggage. Look at that. There's 2 luggage carts out there. Completely forgotten about them.
Oh dear, hope that's not what's keeping Frida and Eloise. Perhaps we should go through and check.
Not a bad idea.
All right, grab your drink. Let's head on into the airport.
I knock
Okay.
my drink back. Follow you.
Okay, so you go into the airport. What are you doing? Are you alerting somebody at the desk to the fact there's luggage out there, or?
Yes.
And
Excuse me, ma'am. You.
Hey.
The no Spreaky the Greeky. Oh wait, Electra. You're Greek.
Alright.
Get that lady's attention.
I'm gonna approach some of the staff
Okay.
and
and explain to them what's going on.
Explain to them what's going on, and
So in the end, she takes on board what's happened, and they arrange somebody to come in, and then eventually, Sophia, you're waiting by the carousel with other people off your plane, and finally the luggage starts rolling through, and you can pick up and head off to the hotel. Jace, do you want to explain a little bit about what you're doing? Sorry, Frida, I should say. Do you want to
Yes.
explain to everybody a little bit about what you're doing?
I am in Greece.
That was good.
The intelligence agency that I work for is worried about a potential increase in activity in the Mediterranean area by other agencies. They think it might have something to do with an archaeological expedition headed by Professor Alexandros Georgios. Suspicion that the expedition is a front for these agencies, and I'm in Greece with my chums to investigate what's going on, and we have to report what we find and put an end to the enemy activity if practical.
Okay. So, does anybody know Professor Georgios?
What about you, Harry?
Henry?
Yeah, you.
Me? Do I know Professor Georgios?
Yes.
Oh, I don't know. Shall I know him?
Well, tell you what, have you got a contacts skill?
Do I have a contact skill? I do indeed. 65%, in fact.
Okay, before you roll those dice, obviously I want you to succeed at this adventure. So let me think about modifiers that would apply. This is I want to make this an easy task for you to know, but bearing in mind you're an archaeologist. So I'm going to give you a 5 pip easiness. Can you think of anything else that applies?
Well, I've been everywhere and met everyone and got the T-shirt. I do get. I can spend story points to flip contacts and red tape, but that's as far as I can see.
So that's flipping your dice when it comes.
Yeah, but there's
But
nothing
I'm
else.
thinking, you've been everywhere. So, oh god, excuse
There's
me.
nothing that specifically gives me extra pips there.
No, is there any abilities or anything that you have that that give you extra modifiers?
No, not for
Okay.
this.
Right. So you've got a modifier of +5.
Okay.
So roll your dice, and if the ones is under 5, then you've succeeded. Whatever happens.
33. So
yes,
doubly succeeded.
doubly
Karma.
succeeded. 33 is karma though. So you
karma.
get a story point, and I have to think of something positive. Well, I'll tell you what. Not
How often
only
does that happen?
have you succeeded, but you have already made contact entirely coincidentally with the professor's granddaughter, shall we say? I think.
Now, what was the last name of that professor again?
Hosh.
What was the last name? Sorry, I didn't catch that.
Hosh.
So you have made contact with Elena Georgios.
Georgios. Why didn't you say? I think I know his granddaughter.
So she has been living with the professor for some time since her parents died a few years ago. She's actually an art student rather than an archaeologist, but she's been helping him with her with his work, and you and she, I think, have already arranged to meet for your success. You're meeting her, shall we say, at a hotel? No, let's say a restaurant in Piraeus, and she was planning to take you to the dig where the professor's staying, and so you've already made that contact.
Excellent.
So
Yes.
does anybody? We've got a bit of a transition scene now with the overnight at the hotel. That's going to happen tomorrow. But does anybody want to do anything at the hotel before you head off to Piraeus to meet Elena?
I think you're suggesting we should get drunk in the hotel. Pretty
How
sure I remember that.
how many time do we have until then?
You've got the overnight, so you've arrived at the airport. You were delayed at the airport, so it's quite late at the hotel, but your rooms have been sorted. I'm not going to muck you around like it says I could do by confusing your booking, but no, I'm not going to muck you around. So is there anything you want to do at the hotel before heading out to Piraeus?
Yes, I would like to leave my luggage and go to have a nap and go to sleep.
Okay, so you're just sleeping.
Of course. I'm always tired.
We all at the hotel.
Well, I don't know. Where are you, Craig? Because you haven't yet joined the party, having come in on this boat here. That's you.
Yeah.
Sorry, my fingers don't quite work. That's you.
That's me. So I've jumped off the boat near the airport, and then started to walk around to get in a taxi to the hotel.
Excellent. Is there anything, any complications that you want to activate that could get the group in party at this point? Get the party in trouble, I mean?
Well, I did want to question the taxi driver about the markets around. Are there any good markets?
For what? So what are you looking for? Says the taxi driver. I can take you to the leather market. My cousin owns a factory for all sorts of leather goods, if that's what you're looking for. But I see you rolling your eyes at me in a way that suggests this might not be the most legitimate of the markets. The sort of thing where, are you saying stolen antiquities might be sold?
Well, anything that's worth a little bit of money, but nothing too illegal.
Nothing too illegal. Wink, wink. Okay. What sort of skill have you got that would apply in this situation?
I've got what have I got? Investigation 45. I've got charm 45. I think that would be investigation, wouldn't it?
Yeah, you got contacts investigation. I think that would be probably investigation is probably the best one for you. Tell you what, let's do two things. First of all, see if you've succeeded in charming this taxi driver.
It does say here, for my bad reputation, it says gain 3 story points to take -2 pips on task checks for charm, contacts, or status.
Okay. So for the
is that
charm,
optional or?
Well, I think it is optional, but if you want to earn story points to spend later, it might be worth doing that.
Yeah. Okay.
So let's do that. So let's imagine you charming the taxi driver. And for the purpose of this one, we'll do those 2 negative pips. So now when you roll your dice, if it's a 1 or a 2, you fail, no matter whether you're under your target or not. If you succeed, however, I will give you a bonus in your investigation check to see whether he gives you a lead.
Okay. 14.
14. So that's above 2 and under 45.
Yes.
Cool. Yes. So take your 3 story points, add those because you took that negative. And then, given that that's quite a successful roll, I will give you 3 positive modifier pips on your investigation roll.
Okay.
So if it's 1, 2, or 3, it's an automatic success, whatever decimals say.
26.
26. So it's not an automatic success, but it's still under your investigation roll. So yeah, he tells you a little bit about, he tells you there's a couple that you could check out. Or he gives you a long list, actually. Have you got a pencil?
I have. Okay.
He says there's the Phronopolis Auction House.
Phronopolis Auction House.
Hassapis Antiques, or Hassapis Antiques, or Antiquities, I should say. And he says these are all approved sellers, so nothing too illegal, as you wanted.
Hassapis what? Sorry?
Hassapis Antiquities.
I'm completely spelling this wrong, but antiquities. Okay.
Lysander's Art.
Okay.
Matsuka, which is a tourist shop. You probably won't find anything there.
Okay.
Onassis Antiquities. Like the big shipping family.
Okay.
Petrakis Art Export.
Okay.
Savas, he has stuff from all over the world, not just Greece.
Savas.
Yeah, Savas.
Okay.
And Saousis, I'll spell that out for you. Tsaoussis.
Okay. And what's Saousis?
They're a small auction house, he says. And Ziphias. They keep a low profile, if you know what I mean.
Thank you, old chap. Low profile.
Excellent. So, yeah, so that's what you do. Does anybody else want to do anything this evening, or are you all getting a good night's sleep?
I would like to go to the bar.
Tell me why you want to go to the bar, Harry.
To drink and be merry and make some friends with the locals.
Excellent. Is your intention to get into enough trouble to earn story points?
It might be.
Okay, so what is your complication?
I would like to get intoxicated.
Right,
Sweet.
okay. So this, as I said, if you're doing it to a thing that doesn't have any story value, you get no points. So let us talk about this trip to the bar then.
Well, there's another option. I have to get in trouble with the authorities.
Well, I was
Through
just
my
wondering whether you
alcoholism.
might get intoxicated and then get in trouble with the authorities.
I'd like to go exploring the town, you see. Go and find one of the good bars.
Right.
And while I'm out there, I get in a fight with a Italian.
Well, let's see how it goes. So first of all, you don't like the overpriced alcohol and the frankly watered down alcohol they sell at the hotel.
Awful
So
stuff.
you are aware that in all these towns there is a hole in the wall type bar full of crusty old men like you drinking hard liquor without any of the exaggerated prices. You're not trying to find the best hole in the wall bar in all of Piraeus.
That's the one.
So how are you going to go about that?
Well, obviously, a taxi driver's just going to tell me.
Right, okay, let's try that out. How are you going to persuade a taxi driver to tell you about the best hole-in-the-wall bar?
Now, listen here, taxi man. Every city has that one place that's got the best alcohol. I don't want you to take me there. I want you to take me to the even better one that they don't tell anyone about. The one with sitting room for about 3 men.
Sorry, what was that?
The one with only enough space for about 3 men to fit in. Tiny place.
You are a tourist, very much, very European. So, what skill are you going to use to talk to try and succeed?
What skill am I going to use? Ranged combat?
No.
Survival. It's clearly survival.
It might be survival. I was thinking it would be. Have you got something like charm?
Charm.
Or an interpersonal skill at all? Red tape, even?
The only thing to do with charm is I can flip charm.
Well, you must have the skill in charm if you can flip it.
No, I can't. I can't see it. No, it says I can just flip a charm or subterfuge task check, but I don't have either of those abilities.
Oh, so you can flip somebody else's, can you?
It just says spend a point to flip charm or subterfuge task check. I'm assuming I would just roll as 15%.
No, well, so you roll it at 15, I think, yeah.
Otherwise, I have...
contacts you could roll again. I would allow you to know somebody who knows somebody.
Yes, contacts, perfect, 65%.
Okay, I'm going to make this a bit difficult for you. I'm going to give you a negative of 3 because you're a tourist and you're looking to get into that authentic bar. So if you get roll a dice.
What if I got 97%?
97.
What would that get me?
Well, it's not a freeze, that's not an automatic failure, but it is a lot higher, isn't it? Luckily, critical failures in this game don't work as in getting close to 100, but no. So he won't take your money. He's saying, "You're drunk, sir. This bar for you in this hotel is very good for Anglos like you. You can buy all your favorite whiskeys."
How dare you? You have no idea what kind of alcohol I like. Whiskey? Ha! Well, it's nice, but that's not the only thing. There's other alcohol, you know. There's more than whiskey. More than watered down piss water in a bar in the back end of Greece.
I think you have had too much to drink, sir.
Too much?
Why don't you go into the hotel? I will call the man from the hotel, and this bellboy, he will take you to your room.
Why don't I just kick you out of the cab and drive myself?
Are you going to try that?
Yes. Damn well. Roll out my bloody sleeves as I do it.
Okay, you don't particularly have a close combat skill, do you? I noticed.
So, that stopped me before.
I'm going to go with a negative. You are drunk for the hotel bar, aren't you?
Well, I was born drunk.
Yes. So I'm going to get you to roll on agility to see if you can get past him and into the taxi to drive it away.
Okay.
And so there's a -5 on that. So if you get 5 or less on your ones dice, then you've failed to do that because you're drunk.
So I got. Let's stay on the table. 22.
22. So you have failed that, although you would have succeeded in doing it. So you do manage to weave your way past him in your drunken thing, catching you offhand by stepping one way towards the other. But he was too quick for you, ready for you. He grabs you by the back of the collar and says, "No, no, no, sir. You can't steal the car." And instead of saying to the bellboy, "Take this gentleman back up to his bedroom," he says, "Call the police. This man needs to cool down in a jail cell."
Put you in a jail cell.
And in remarkably short time, within the space of a couple of frames, a couple of uniformed Greek police officers turn up. They are looking forward to, 20 or 30 years in the future where all they do is pick drunken Englishmen up from outside nightclubs. You won't be with them. You'll be dead by then and they'll all be young. But
I fought in the war, I fought for your bloody peace.
Greek had quite a complicated relationship during the war, I seem to remember. So
Yeah.
I probably don't take kindly to that. And Frida, when you wake up the next morning, you have a message from the local police cell say that your friend, no, actually it wouldn't be, it'd be Tom, Electra. Your friend is in the local jail, having spent the night cooling his socks off, and he needs a bail paid to get
Okay.
out. And you get 3 story points, Tom.
Amazing.
Disgraceful behaviour. Meant to be an ambassador for the country.
Everybody should look at the helpful hints that Eloise is giving you, Harry, in terms of your role playing.
Yes.
So check out the chat channel.
I was thinking Uzo.
Right. So you have an appointment to meet with, well, Harry has an appointment to meet with the granddaughter of the professor, but he's in a prison cell. So team, how are you going to deal with it?
Right. Having had my my light continental breakfast, I'm going to zip off down to the jail cell in my racing car to pick him up.
Excellent. Have you got red tape
Red tape.
as a skill?
No. I do have a wad of cash.
You have a wad of cash.
No questions asked.
Right. Okay. I think it would be good to take one of your party with red tape to ease even that wad of cash in there.
I can do some
Otherwise,
red
it
tape.
could take
You got
all
some red
day.
tape
The
in.
wad of cash will be gone. Harry will be freed, but it will take you too long, I imagine. So, who do you want to take with you? Who can?
All right.
Well, would someone with lockpicks be any help?
I knew you suggesting we save the wad of cash.
Well, I mean, I do like this notion, but in the interest of speed, I think Frida's governmental connections might be what we're after here.
Hmm.
All right, gonna go with the bigger car. I'm gonna head on down there with Frida.
Okay. I take it red tape is filling out paperwork and official procedures.
Yeah. Have you got that skill?
I do. Not a vast amount, but some.
Okay. So they don't really want him on their hands. It's a relatively easy job. So I'm going to give you a task modifier. Let me just see how I feel about these task modifiers. What should I give you? Difficulty 2. I'll give you a +2 on that. Or is there anything else that you want to apply to it?
Just that. Fill out the forms. Give the money.
Tom, is your gear kit is your money part of a gear kit?
Yeah.
It is. So we can apply that as well.
Okay. I'll gently slide a wad of cash over the counter.
Okay. So we'll stack those up. That means 4 or less on Jace's roll.
Which means if the ones get a 4 or under, it's an automatic.
That's an automatic success, whatever you roll.
Okay. Well, we're looking for under 45.
Okay.
I've got a 93.
Oh,
So there's a really good
There you go,
example of
yeah.
how the modifier allows actually a really, it was literally all Greek to you, that form you had to fill out. And you didn't do a very good job of it. But luckily, the modifier, your knowledge of schmoozing up officials and Electra's hard-earned bribe, have made sure that you freed Harry, and he comes out. Harry, how are you feeling? You feeling a bit sheepish, having tried to steal a
That's
taxi
one of the
last
better
night?
cells I've stayed in.
Should
The
be
Greeks
thoroughly,
are
thoroughly
surprisingly
ashamed of
good,
yourself.
surprisingly relaxing in there.
Disgusting old man. Look
So
at the
many,
state here.
so many
Vomit
like
down
about the
your front.
Greeks, but they know how to make a bed in a jail cell.
Feel like you've soiled your trousers.
That's not my silage.
Well, we haven't got time for that. We have to meet your archaeology chums.
Yep. Just quickly go and get a hair of the dog before we leave, I suppose. Any
Nope.
bars around
Nope.
here?
No. Not allowing it.
Oh,
We
just a little swig.
No, we need straight minds, clear minds.
But that's why I want to have a little drink.
No.
Just to clear the old cobwebs out before we go.
Well, you might be able to grab a drink because, of course, you are meeting them at the Argonauts Greek seafood restaurant.
Good point.
So let me just find the description of that for you. It's and the rest of you, you'll be relieved to know that it's a bit of a walk down this long, curving quayside of Piraeus. So there's plenty of fresh air, the smell of fish, and ozone in the air, which will hopefully clear the last of Harry's hangover.
I think
out
like
of his
some
head.
raw clams to really cure a hangover.
Yeah. It's a small specialist Greek restaurant, a plain white building with some tables and chairs outside. And the walls are decorated with seascapes, and the owners are a man called Jason and a woman called Medea. They're very friendly, and they welcome you there. But Lena isn't here yet, so they say, would you like a glass of wine or something before we while you wait?
I'll have one or something, please.
Yeah.
You all there, I imagine, for this
Yes.
one? I haven't heard much from Eloise recently, but
Oh
you-
yeah, I probably swung past the hotel on the
Hotel.
way down and picked up Eloise, and I'm assuming at this point have we kind of is
have we met Paul? Are
is
you
it?
saying?
Yeah, is he in the crew now at this point, kind of thing? Or
Yes,
He
yes,
did offer his
I
help with his lockpicking skills.
that's true. Yeah.
yes, yes. I got a taxi to the hotel, and then I got my own car to the seafood place.
Oh, all right. Okay. So then I
My own
think
car. Didn't realise.
we're all down there then.
So while you're waiting, is there anything you want to check out or talk with the locals at the restaurant about, or anything like that?
Hmm.
I'm going to tell Electra to keep an eye on Harry. Make sure he doesn't have too much to drink. Whilst I go and freshen up in the bathroom.
Okay.
Okay.
Now that that stiff's gone, let's get some proper drinks.
Yeah.
Round of ouzo, please. Apart from the little one, she can't drink. She's too young. Get her a fizzy pop or something.
I'm gonna
Bucks Fizz. Yes.
I'm gonna have a little rummage through the drinks list and find a very nice, but perhaps slightly lower percentage wine or the like for us to enjoy to start with. Don't want to get charging in with the spirits quite yet. Still before noon.
Okay.
And Eloise is French, so I'm sure she gets to have at least one glass.
Yes, water down at least, surely.
Yeah.
This is still waiting while this is going on.
You're in a restaurant, right?
Sorry?
Mhm. Yeah. Was
Is
it the
anyone who
Argonauts?
looks suspicious?
Hmm.
That Does anyone look suspicious? No.
Anyone looking suspicious around here? What skill are you going to use to
I have searched.
see that? Well, I'm not going to make you roll that because no, I'll tell you straight away that there's no, everybody around here seems to be perfectly normal. Nobody's watching you or anything. However, time is passing and Elena is not showing up.
So your friend is as flaky as you, Harry.
Do I know where she's staying?
Yeah, as we could get them to put a
Could
call
I-
through.
Yeah, could I?
Well, no, I mean, she's staying on the island that she was going to take you to, but I don't know whether you know, I don't think you know which island that was.
I've got no way of contacting her.
No, this is the 60s.
Well, I mean, there's still telephones. in
There are
the
telephones,
60s.
yeah, but you have a telephone
Could we,
number.
could we
and
get an
you don't
operator
have one.
to call like grandfather's house or something possibly, or?
Well, the grandfather is staying at the same island. She's staying with her grandfather.
How many islands are there around there? There's quite a few, isn't there?
There's quite a few, yes.
Do they have any white pages in Greece at that time to find people alphabetically?
Are they basically staying on a sort of campsite on an island?
Yeah, you've got to dig on an island, so they may well be camping there. I mean, they may have hired a house there, but no, well, you could look through the white pages, but you can't find their names anywhere in Piraeus or on any of the islands.
A pickle?
How far away is the airport from here?
It's a few kilometers away,
Few
but
kilometers.
relatively close to Athens, Piraeus. I can't remember. Let me just check where it is. There's the airport. Yeah. So Piraeus is a sort of suburb of Athens, and the airport is on the other side of town.
Okay. And is this early morning or
Well,
afternoon?
it's now after you've been waiting. It's turning into early afternoon.
I'm thinking we could investigate at the airport what if there are any flights from any other islands coming in or already come in today.
Yeah.
Well, I ring the airport, ask them for information.
Possibly there could be some domestic flights from an island that were coming in.
What about boats?
Boats.
Boats, yeah. There's a number of boats along here, and with a fish, generally fishermen, but they would generally do rise to islands for people that pay them a
Wads of
little bit.
cash. Yeah. How many islands? Because could we investigate one at a time?
I think you'd want to find which. Yeah, this is sorry, this is Greece. There are a ton of islands, little islands. So no, probably not
Okay.
enough today to just visit a couple and find the one.
Maybe if there's a ferry port as well, we could check that.
Yeah,
No,
I
is
mean,
there?
most of it. This is the 60s. I think
Okay.
it's not going to be a totally built-up island, particularly if it's an archaeological dig that you've not heard of. It's probably on one there. You're probably better off asking the boats along the quay.
Or a contact.
Yeah.
A contact to find a
Yeah.
contact.
The contact thing again.
I'll tell you what, Craig, you've got charm, haven't you?
I have. Thank you for noticing.
So why don't you try talking to some of, well, even to the guys at the bar here about they heard about archaeological digs on islands recently.
Yes.
I'll
Okay.
give
So
you a +2 advantage on that.
I will go up to the bar and ask them what they know about any local archaeology sites in any island. My charm's 45.
45, and your roll is
33.
33. So you don't get it on the automatic success, but you do that.
Oh,
Um,
it's a karma thingy, isn't
Oh,
it?
it's a karma. Take a karma point.
It's the same karma point, 33, isn't it?
Yeah, sorry? Same one,
Some,
yeah.
yeah.
some of 33.
Take story point. I should stop calling it karma point.
Story
Okay, so they, yes, they say very specifically there are a large number of islands with ruins on. They wouldn't know which one this professor that you mentioned might be on at the moment. They tell you that there are smugglers operating, taking artifacts. They've heard, but for your karmic success, though, I'm going to say they point you to some friendly fishermen. So who's got contacts skill?
I've got it at 65%.
Okay, so they suggest that if you were to make contact with these particular fishermen, they have a feel for a lot of the trade that's going on here. So they
Right.
may know, if it's not them themselves, they'll know somebody who might know about which island this professor's on.
Briefly, just quickly, did I lose a story point or gain one?
You gain a story
Gained
point
one. Right,
when you,
okay.
whenever you get a double roll, good or bad, you gain a story point.
Right, well, I'll
But
do
you get maximum 12.
I got 36, so that's good. Past 65.
Okay. So when you describe Elena, they do kind of nod and look wistfully at each other. These are quite old, heavily lined Greek fishermen, but they appreciate a beautiful lady, and they recognize this woman that you're talking about. And they say that she has been traveling between here and an island called Philakes in the Myrtoan Sea.
Is that
What-
far?
Sorry?
Is it far?
I can't remember how far it is. Let me just check.
And when was the last time they saw her?
That was my next question.
Yeah.
Okay, it's quite some distance, they say. But they don't want to go. It's not their thing, but they do point to a man called Stephanos who rents out boats for tourists. They will say it's quite an expensive ride, though. It's some distance away. Has anybody got a credit task skill?
Yeah, credit, yeah.
Okay, so to be able to afford the price that Stephanos is charging, you would need to make a credit check.
Okay.
And to borrow the boat, or potentially, Frida, now you know the location. As Craig said, you could go to the airport and rent a plane.
Can you fly?
I can fly. I can even fly fighter planes.
Well, let's get one of them.
Don't think we can fit.
No, there are 5
Well,
of you.
We'll squash in the cockpit together.
All right.
The easiest so the easiest one for taking passengers to and from will be the boat, but
Can we get a boat plane?
well, it would have to be a seaplane. There's no landing strip on Philakis.
Oh, it's getting better already.
So you're saying we go for the plane,
Boat plane. It's the way we go. It's the way to roll.
but we're right here at the boats. We were just
maybe
talking to
there'll
a
be
man who wanted
but
to
there
give us a boat.
Maybe there'll be a boat plane nearby, seaplane just nearby, because we're by the boats. Might be a seaplane dock.
Is there one?
Or one of these planes they can land in the water.
That's the sort we're talking about. Yes.
Are any fancy-looking speedboats about?
Well, that might require you getting a really good result on your credit check.
With these gear kits, can you just use them all the time, or can I just be throwing around wads of cash nilly-willy? Or
so the gear, I can't remember actually now. Give me a moment.
I think you can.
yeah, I'm the most famous racing driver in all of Greece.
Exactly.
Everyone knows me.
I've got a bicycle.
You've got a bicycle.
Do the number.
A spy with a bicycle.
Got a number on the side.
Oh, I've got an off-road vehicle. I didn't see that before. Maybe we can float that across the sea.
It's off-road.
Yeah, technically it's off-road.
So give me a moment. I'm struggling. I wonder whether gear kits are sort of one. You've got 5 of them, haven't you? I wonder whether they're kind of one use. Well, tell you what.
There's actually, I don't know. There's a number next to them. 11121.
Let's just have a look at your character sheet. Give me a moment. God, where's your character sheet? There we go.
Yeah.
So maybe that is the number of uses. Yes.
Okay.
All
right. So I've already thrown a wad of cash at the jail.
Scratched your wad of cash.
Yeah.
You scratched a wad of cash. Yes.
Okay. I'm just gonna on the strength of my credit rating, see what kind of boat you can throw my way, if any.
Okay.
So it's just a credit check, or
yes. Let me just go back to that encounter.
While they do that, I would like to do something else, but finish with him first.
What do you want to do?
Well, he's looking into the most expensive boat to go to the island. I'm looking for a more modest one and looking around to see if I can make any kind of propeller or kind of combustion liquid to be more effective.
Save that for the journey. That may be a useful thing you can do with whichever boat he gives you. So
Okay.
So let's do the credit card. Let's do the credit task check first.
24.
24, and your credit skill is
45.
excellent. So you're fine.
Okay.
So this is a small motorboat with very few luxuries, and it's going to take about half a day. So it'll be in the evening that you arrive, possibly even after dark.
Okay. Well, I have procured us this modest boat, a little below my station, but
How long it will take us to be there?
Okay, so it's going to take about half a day.
So we need, I'll speak with Harry or with Frida.
But yeah, so what we're going to do now is what's called a challenge, which requires a number of skills going in. So you were talking about getting the engine to work really efficiently, Eloise, weren't you? So this will require making a machinery roll. Who's got the best vehicles skill?
I've got 45%.
75.
65.
Okay. So you're probably operating the boat, steering it.
Okay. Yep.
Who's got the best alertness skill?
65.
65?
Yeah,
Okay.
65 as well. But
Well, you're operating. You're doing the operating.
I'm on the wheel, right? Yeah.
Eloise is on the engine. So the other two, you have to take an endurance check to not get seasick. So I'm just trying to see what sort of challenge this is. So basically, you're all going to roll this, and the number of successes that we get are going to indicate how well getting to the island went.
Is Harry puking everywhere?
Oh, dare you.
Bottle.
How do you know
Just
I
bottles
fought
of
in World
ouzo.
War II?
Let me just remind myself how
I was
challenges
there
work.
when we invaded Sicily.
Is Uzo the Anaceedy one?
Yes, it
Yeah.
is, isn't it?
I think so.
It is, yeah. I hate it. So we're talking about 5 task checks. So this narrative doesn't play out until we've found out the total number of task checks or the total number of successes. So let's start off with Harry and Craig. Endurance rolls for you both, please. Harry and Paul.
17.
What is your endurance?
65.
65, and you got 19, so you're
17.
fine.
Yeah, I'm
Craig,
easy. That
what's your
was.
endurance?
I've rolled 43. I guess it's under other skills, so it would be 15.
15. So you get no successes. And you've got 1 success. Okay. Sophia on the engine. Make your roll on mechanics. You're mute, Sophia.
Sorry. Yes, I was saying I have engineering, I have electronics, but I don't have,
Oh, you use your engineering skill.
which is 45 electron. No, 67.
67. Okay. So 1 success, 2 failures at the moment. Jace, you get on lookout. Make your observation roll.
Ooh, 24.
24. So that's a success, I'm assuming.
Yes.
And then Tom, you do your piloting roll or your driving roll.
Being overconfident, can I take a -2 pips for free story points and start showing off?
By all means, but you get a 1 or 2 and you failed.
Right. Yeah. Put the pedal to the metal and see what we get. Oh, yeah, that is a fail.
You flipped the boat and we all drowned.
Right. So this challenge was of limited success. So in the rules, the desired result of the challenge is met. You get to the island, but with an additional bad effect, a hard choice, a flaw, down modifiers for future rolls, etc. Let me just see. There are some specifics with this particular challenge. So you don't get there till after nightfall. but you do eventually get landfall on the island. How are we doing for time? It's 9 o'clock now, and I think I might call it quits there, and we will return this time next week to explore the island. Is
Seems
everybody
like a
happy with that?
good
Yeah,
pause
sounds good.
point. Yep.
Mhm.
Terrific. Okay, well, thanks everybody for playing. If you've got any questions about what went on, talk to me on the WhatsApp. But if anybody was watching, I wasn't monitoring on YouTube today. But we will see you next week. Same troubleshooting channel, same troubleshooting time. Oh, hold on. I'm going to take us all off this